Hey everybody, Adam here with Hometown Acres. Welcome back. This year I am finally going to upgrade from our junk box store Christmas lights that burn out every single year to professional grade Christmas lights. We're going to do it ourselves and we're going to save a ton of money in the process. So in the 10 short years that I've been a homeowner, we have put up Christmas lights every single year. I started out putting up the incandescent box store Christmas lights. And you know, if I had 10 or 15 strands that I'd put up around the house and in the bushes and on the railings every year, ultimately every winter whenever I'd go to get them out, I'd have one or two strands that wouldn't light up. So then I have to go buy another strand or two. Well, then they came out with the LED Christmas lights and they said, oh, these are gonna last 10 years. You won't have to worry about strands burning out. So I thought, all right, they're a little bit more money. I'll go ahead and get those and my problem will be fixed. I won't have to worry about replacing strands of lights every year. Well, then those started burning out one strand every year. And actually one year I was so angry about it, I actually started looking into the wiring of these lights and trying to splice and fix, and I could never get it quite right. And I talked to an electrician friend of mine and said, hey, how do you fix Christmas lights? And he said, honestly, they're so cheap, they're throwaway. When a strand burns out, they're not worth messing with because you're going to cause your house to burn down by creating an arc or something like that. He said, when they burn out, throw them away, get new ones. And I didn't really like that answer. And for the last 2 years, I have been looking into professional grade Christmas lights. And I've seen them popping up around town here and there. And, you know, obviously they're on the wealthier houses because people are paying for that service to have these hung up. And I talked to a friend of mine who has these installed on his house every year. And I said, how much does that cost? And he said, well, the first year, because these are custom fit to your house, every gutter, every ridge, every peak line, they custom fit these to your house. He said the first year to buy the lights and have them custom fit to your house was about $3,000. And then he said every year after that, you own the lights, but they come out and they put them up and take them down for you for about $500. Well, I went out and I bought enough lights to do my entire house for $500. And I'm gonna have some labor in custom cutting and fitting it to our house here, but I'm gonna save $2,500 today by doing this myself. So that's the whole story why I'm doing this. I want something that's going to last longer. All of these lights, these are C9 lights. They are replaceable. If a bulb burns out, it's easy to pop one out and put a new one in. Let's head in the shop and I'll show you all the supplies you're gonna need if you wanna upgrade your Christmas lights and do it on the cheap. Okay, so here's a look at pretty much everything you're gonna need if you want to try to do professional grade Christmas lights yourself. First thing you're gonna need is bulbs. And the nice thing about doing it this way is you can select exactly what colors you want, what order, what pattern. I'm planning on just doing, you know, blue, green, red, and white. But if you want to mix in other colors there as well, I actually saw somebody that what they did is they did a red, white, and blue house. So they would do four blue lights in a row, then four red lights in a row, and then four white lights in a row. And it looked pretty cool. I mean, not very Christmassy, but definitely patriotic. So the customizability of doing it this way is off the charts. Then you're going to need some clips. Now, depending on what type of roof you have, if you've got a metal roof or a shingle roof, will depend on what kind of clips you need. So I'm going to use these style clips on the gutter. You can see these fit nicely right around the light socket on your strand of lights. And then if you have a metal roof, you're going to need some magnet clips because if you want to do the ridges and the peaks and everything, there's no real good way to clip these onto a metal roof. So I need two different style of clips. If you have a shingle roof, you could probably just get away with using these. The next thing you're going to need is some jumper wire. So this is going to take you from, you know, if you're connecting one roof line to another and you don't want lights in between, this is just kind of a blank, right? And then to make those connections from your spool of lights, which is, you know, another thing you're going to need, you can buy this anywhere from 100 feet to 500 feet to 1,000-foot spools. This is a 500-foot spool, and I've already put some up on the shop. But then to make those connections, you need some vampire clips. And I'm going to show you how these work here when we actually get to installing. But it's pretty cool how you can basically custom fit everything to your house, snip the wire, install your male and female, and you're good to go. First thing we're going to do is load up our tool belt with all the different colored lights. And for this, having a tool belt is going to be really handy, especially if you're going to be working up on the roof or on a ladder. Get everything you need and not have to be climbing up and down that ladder as much. I should also mention that these bulbs, they claim them to be smash resistant. I don't know how smash resistant they are. I haven't put it to the test yet. I'm sure if you drove over them with the excavator, they're going to smash, but I don't think just dropping them on the ground is going to give you any problems. Grab some of our gutter clips. All right, so we're gonna start on the back side of the house here with this gutter and go up. This is kind of the main walkway that we use to get into the house. So you can see I've already done the shop here. So as you walk in, you're gonna have Christmas lights on both sides. We're gonna start on this gutter. I'm not gonna do the back side of the house over this way because nobody's ever gonna walk over there or see that. So we're starting here, and I figure we'll do this first connection together. So you're always gonna start with your first male side. And how these work is you've got two wires here, right? And you've got two prongs. And if you look, I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see that, but each blade has a spike on the end of it that will pierce that jacket. And how you want to line this up, because there's obviously a positive and negative, or a negative and a ground, or I'm not sure. There's two wires, but basically from the research I've done, one wire has a grooved jacket on the outside, or a corrugated jacket, and the other one is smooth. The corrugated jacket has to align with your fat blade on your plug. So if you look, that's this one, that would be this one, so that's on the right. And you can see this one is offset to the right, this spike is offset to the left. So we're going to take our wire, and it fits right in there, and then we're going to fold it down, and then this cap is going to compress this down into those spikes. And as we push that on, you can see it pushing the wire down into those spikes, making our electrical connection and piercing that jacket. There, and just like that, we have a watertight, waterproof plug on the end to run an extension cord to. Now, as you can see right here, we've got gutter, and then we transition to metal roof where there's no gutter. And again, that's where we're going to use these clips first. And we've got, I forgot to mention, the spacing on these is also something that you can get as a differentiation. The spacing I chose was 1 foot, but you can get 16 inches, 18 inches, 6 inches if you want your lights really close together. I think 1 foot is probably the most common that people use. And these clips that I bought, I will leave a link in the description to all of these things. They all came from Amazon, but these ones actually rotate, so it gives you a lot of flexibility in how you want to hang them. So again, this just snaps, compress fits right around the socket, and then we're going to hop up here and clip it right to the gutter like that. Now what I did on the shop is, you can see I've got them all angled out like that, and that's kind of what I'm going to do with these ones here. I think is, you know, you could have them facing straight up like that, you could have them facing back. I kind of like them at a diagonal because that light will then shine down this way. So again, with that 1 inch spacing, everything's going to look very uniform, very professional. It's just a matter of putting clips on and clipping them to the gutter. All right, so now we're getting ready to transition from the gutter up to the metal peak. So we've got to switch from our chip clip style clips to our magnet clips. But before I do that and get up on the ladder and start hanging those, I want to get all of my sockets filled with bulbs. And as much work as you can do on the ground ahead of time is just going to save you that much time on the ladder. I did want to show you just one or two how these go together. So you can see my pattern right now is blue, green, white, red. So I need a blue. And these literally are just as easy as screwing them in. And if you get one that doesn't light up, it just means you didn't tighten it up enough. So blue, green, white, and red. And this is the only time that you should have to do this. When you go to take these back off of the house, you will leave the lights in the sockets and save yourself a lot of time next year when you go to put them up. Okay, so we got all our bulbs in to do this side of the house. I think the easiest way to do it is to actually get up on the roof. Otherwise, you're going to be moving the ladder every 4 lights all the way down your gutter because you won't be able to reach it. Whereas if you're up on the roof, you can just skedaddle right on down. So we're transitioning because we got to do the... Actually, I haven't decided how I want to do this yet. If I want to put it on the front with the bulbs facing up or put it on the fascia there facing out. We'll have to see how these clips work, but or we could put it in the bottom. So that's the nice thing about these clips, is they give you a lot of flexibility of how you want to put your wire in there. And I think what I want to do is I want to go bulbs out. So it'll look something like that. I think that'll look nice with these bulbs facing kind of diagonal out. Okay, so we got our peak done over there. Now we're ready to go ahead and transition back to our gutter clips. I don't know if you noticed, but I've got a snow brake here too, which actually makes a nice little bench seat to sit on to keep me from sliding my off the roof. Probably would be easier if I brought the spool up here, all the lights, and everything. That way I don't have to get back down a ladder to get more supplies. And then I could just do everything from up here. We're still figuring this out as we go. The hardest part of this whole thing is just getting comfortable being on the roof. I am not terribly fond of heights. However, once you get up here and you start working, you kind of quit thinking about it and you're just focused on doing what you're doing. And I think the more you do it, I think the reason I have a fear of heights is because I've never put myself in a position to be up high. I know when we did the roof on the 20 by 20 lean-to over there, I was very uncomfortable, legs shaking the whole bit, and then by the end of getting the roof on there, I was fine. And it's the same thing with this. When I first got on this roof, I was a little nervous, and then by the time I got to the other side, I was fine. And you know, now you can see I'm kind of crawling around up here and not really thinking too much about it. Now where I'm probably going to be bricks is going to be up on that roof over there. We'll see how that goes. Okay, we've got our tool belt all loaded back up with bulbs. We're going to go ahead and work our way across the gable end here, get our bulbs and our magnet clips on, and then we'll start magneting these down. All right, so we've got our gables, our gutters are all done. Now we're going to go ahead and do this center ridge, work our way around the cupola here over to the other side all the way to the house. But I thought I'd stop for a minute and just show you the view from up here. This is a different side of Hometown Acres than you guys have seen in the past. We are peak fall foliage right now. I think we got probably another couple days before the leaves are going to start coming down. But just an absolutely beautiful day to be working on this today from up here. Okay, so now to come across this ridge, we're going to put on an inline female T and tap right into power right there, and I'll show you how we do that with these vampire plugs that we have here. So we're going to need a female and a male. Now if you notice, these females, they've got an open side on one end and then they've got a knockout on the other side. And when you're doing an inline T, you've got to take that knockout out. Now, same thing as before, there is a ribbed wire and a non-ribbed wire. The ribbed wire has to go on the fat blade, same as we did on the male earlier. So we got to figure out which one of these is the ribbed one. Those spikes are just going to pierce that wire. We're going to press it in there, and then we're going to take our cap and just slide it on. There we go, just like that. And now we can tee off of this same line and not need an additional power source up here. But we've got to put a male on this side. Now, when I showed you guys this earlier, I forgot one little step. So what you want to do is take your wire cutters and just separate about 1/4 of an inch between these two wires here, just so they're not too close to each other and you create a little bit of an arc. Yeah, get yourself just a little bit of separation between those, about 1/4 of an inch. So when you insert that into your male plug, there's some separation between those two wires. And I don't know, you might be able to see a little bit better now that we're in the sun, but there's that ribbing on the one jacket and smooth jacket on the other. And this is our fat blade, which is on the right side. So then put that in there, press it down, get yourself a cover, and slide it on. There, just like that, and we can go ahead and plug in. And now we are, there goes some bulbs. Now we are ready to start running this ridgeline, and we'll have to do the same thing again when we get to the cupola, except instead of putting an inline T, we're just going to do a female and a male and go to that jumper wire and jump around that cupola and then go back to this wire here with the outlets or the sockets on it. All right, so we've got the whole garage portion of the roof done here, and again, here's running that ridge line, and here's that jumper cable I was telling you about. We needed to go around the cupola here, and so we've got a female on the end of the Christmas light string, and then the jumper has a male, and then on this end it goes back to a female, and then a male back to the string lights, and we keep going down. And that is the custom fit that we're talking about with this style of light. Again, these are C9 professional grade Christmas lights, and I don't know what I'm going to do for the house because the pitch of the roof of the garage is a 412, okay? But if I look at the pitch of the roof on the house, I've got a measure app here. We're looking at about 36 degrees, which if you go to an angle calculator to convert that to what pitch roof that is, this is a 912 pitch roof. And according to OSHA, anything over a 712 requires fall protection. Now, I mean, I don't care about OSHA. I work for myself. I don't fall under the category of OSHA's guidelines, but I do think that there's a rule there for a reason. That's a pretty steep roof. I wouldn't want to be on that without some kind of fall protection. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do for the rest of this. Either I'm going to get myself some fall protection and do it myself, or I might possibly hire somebody to come out and do this, because I would like to do, you know, this roof line goes up there, that roof line across the top, catch, you know, the peaks there, and then the front of the house there. So I would say I'm probably 60% of the way done with the job. So even if I do hire out the rest of it, I probably still have saved myself a considerable amount of money. All right, so here is our plan B. Plan A was I was going to try to put some 2x4s going across our snow and ice guards there on the metal roof. And I got about halfway across the roof and didn't like how that felt. Whoop, whoop, tilt me back, curl me back. Yep, there you go. And you can see now I've got my IBC tote with our Baumolite skid steer quick attach on the excavator and pallet forks. So the plan here is I want to get up to that pitch on the 912 roof there, and then I'm going to put the ladder, and then I'm going to use the ladder rungs on either the base of the IBC tote and put it on the roof and use the rungs of the ladder to get up to that pitch on that roof there. That's only a 512. And I also, if you can see, I've got a rope coming over the peak of the roof tied off to the other side that I'm going to tie myself off to. But if I do come sliding down the roof, I will run into the IBC tote and not off the edge of the roof. So I'll have two forms of protection. The IBC tote will keep me from sliding off of the roof, as well as I'll be tied off. So I know this might look kind of hokey, but I've really tried to think of this and make it as safe as possible. Looking good. You can go over a little bit more, but you're not going to hit the roof. A little bit more. Another 6 inches. That's good right there. Okay. Now, so now we're going to transition to the roof. This is the fun part.
Oops, got a little knot here.
Gotcha. Okay, now that I'm up here, I want to tie myself off first. Okay, now I got to make the transition up to this roof. Okay, that feels a lot better. Whoo, it's high up here. Well, we got a good view from up here. Yeah, I've got nothing. That's going to be sketchy getting that plugged in and starting this run. This isn't that steep, but it's the height. Now watch, I'll get all the way over here and I'm not going to have enough slack in the line from that spool. I'm going to have to crawl back over. So let me get this. Oh no, I should have enough slack. All I have to do, see, I've got to reach this down there and plug it in. I'm about 18 inches away. Got it. It's plugged in. I just need to get those two magneted on now. I just need to be careful and take my time. Okay, I'm ready to go down the other side.
I feel like a f***ing bald eagle right now. Caw-caw!
Caw-caw! Okay, now I got to get back down here on the ladder. I got to probably get back down the same way well, Okay, almost done. 2 more. Last one. Okay, now I just have to get down. I think I can let go of the rope now, right? Because if I fall at this point, I'm going to go right into the basket.
I think you're correct. Here's where we have fun with them.
Yeah. There we go. The only person in the world I'd trust to do that's that man right there.
What'd you say?
Whew. Talk about nerve-wracking.
Touchdown!
I still have the family out here, and we're going to go ahead and have our little Clark Griswold moment. Drum roll, please.
Is he gonna do it? Yeah. 3. Wow! Wow! Is that so cool? Yeah. What do you think? Is that so cool? Yeah.
A lot more lights than yesterday, huh?
Yeah. Look it.
So here's something I find crazy. We've got both runs of lights plugged into our DJI portable power station. One run for the shop, one run for the garage on the house. And the reason I did that is because I wanted to see how much power we are pulling, and the DJI portable power station tells me how many watts we are pulling. And if you look down here in this bottom right corner, it says we are pulling 198 watts, which I find fascinating because we've got well over 200 foot of lights. Again, the light spacing is every 12 inches. So we've got over 200 LED Christmas lights, professional grade lights, and we are only drawing 200 watts, which would be the equivalent of 2 100-watt light bulbs you'd have in a lamp inside your house. So we're not going to be pulling much power. Our electric bill isn't going to be anything crazy. It reminds me of Christmas Vacation when Chevy Chase puts on all those lights on his house and they do a jump cut to his electric meter and you just see all the dials just spinning like they're going to fall off. We are not going to have that problem with these LED Christmas lights. All right, guys, so there you go. That is our Christmas light display for 2024. Now I can already see the comments rolling in. Obviously, we're going to have the safety police saying that what I did is completely ridiculous. They're going to unsubscribe because they can't just watch the blatant lack of safety on our channel. I did that as safely as I could possibly think of, how I come up with it. Again, I was tied off as best as I could be. I had the IBC tote there acting as a wall if I did fall off the roof to keep me from running the rest of the way off. And then there's the other school of people that are going to say, I can't believe you're putting up Christmas lights in October. You're basically skipping Halloween and Thanksgiving. And you know what? Just because I put them up now does not mean that I'm going to be running them every single night starting today. I got them up now because it's a lot easier to be climbing on the roof when it was 75 degrees outside rather than doing it when it's 35 and raining. So I've got them up now. It was a tremendous amount of work, and most importantly, the roof was dry the whole time we were doing this. And you know what? Christmas is one of those things that I have very fond childhood memories of. I want to enjoy the season as long as I can. And you know what? This was a lot of work. It probably took me 2 days on and off working on it to get it completely knocked out. Again, next year it should go much smoother since I won't be screwing in the bulbs and all of the clips individually. But because it did take so much work to get it put up, I want to enjoy it for more than 3 weeks. I know a lot of people have a hard and fast rule. Christmas decorations go up December 10th, January 2nd they come down. Again, it's one of those things that I look fondly on from my childhood, and I try to stretch the holiday season as long as I can. And I do this more or less for my kids as well, because I have such fond childhood memories of Christmas and Christmas lights and all the decorations and everything that goes along with it. I want them to have those same experiences, and I think that's all we can ask for as parents, is to allow our kids to experience the things that we enjoyed from our childhood and remove the things that we didn't. So a little food for thought for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, give me a big thumbs up, click that subscribe button, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.
This lever, can I lift it up and get out?
I think so, yeah.
Alright. I didn't want it to drop because who the heck's going to run Hometown Acres?
If it drops a little bit, it'll just rest on the roof.
Yeah.
I don't think it would put a hole. Maybe, I don't
Well,
know.
how far away? I'm 6 inches from the roof, ain't I?
Yeah.
Alright, well, it's not my roof. You're going to fall. I want to see it.